Okay, so welcome to the meeting tonight. It's already May, which is crazy, but got a few things to go through tonight. So thanks for everybody for coming out. I did just want to announce that we do have a new ACA, Morgan. She just finished training last night. She's on her first shift this weekend. So if you guys can all make her feel as welcome as you always do for all of our new hires, she'll be doing weekend shifts with our other ACAs to kind of complete our little group. So we have a little more extra wiggle room for people needing time off and that kind of thing. So yeah, happy to have her aboard. And the slide usually looks the same every month, I know, but summer is coming up, which is crazy. I've been working on the June schedule today. So there are still some shifts open in May, both RVT and ACA shifts. Just a reminder to everybody. Please continue to send your time off and oh my goodness, unavailability through Sling. Super helpful for all of us to know how many people are available and that kind of thing. If you need help figuring that out, just let me know. It is in the SOPs, but I know it's kind of in a weird spot in Sling, depending on if you're using the app or the desktop. So just let me know if you need any help with that for sure. And I'm going to pass things over to Lindsay.
Hey everyone. Sorry, Charlie was chewing on a bone very loudly, so I was trying to get her to stop before I came on mic. So we actually had a lot of votes this month, which is great. 11, which is the most we've ever had. Um, a couple great ones, especially clinics helping with non-clients, even some clinics staying later to help with non-clients, or even there was a great one that Steph had submitted where a clinic had actually helped and assisted trying to find a clinic for a non-client to go to because they were not able to see, which is above and beyond. And that one was the Nelson Animal Hospital out in BC. But the winner this month is Southampton. A technician stayed late to help with a non-client, as well as them running a UA on a non-client as well, and staying late to assist in any way that they could so that we could get this patient medication. So yeah, so great month. Keep voting. I really appreciate all the votes, and I know that we've had some great feedback from the clinics, just being super appreciative. So keep voting so we can keep sending out those gift baskets to them. All right, thank you.
All right, and I'm going to pass things over to Amy for a couple minutes now. Amy, you around?
I'm here. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Just a quick reminder about breaks. There's been some questions around breaks. We had chatted at the last meeting regarding the Ministry of Labor requirements for breaks. And so if you are scheduled for a shift that is 5 hours or less, you are not required to take a 30-minute break, but anything over 5 hours, you are required to take a break. So you need to be really cognizant on the shifts where you're scheduled for five exactly, that you're wrapping up your shift at the 5 hour mark, or if you don't think that that's possible, then you may need to take a break prior to it. There was a situation, and this isn't a bad situation, but there was a situation where a staff member was required to stay late to wrap up their shift, and we really appreciate that. I just ask that you put a note on your time card if that's the situation, so that we know why you had to stay late. We do have to explain these things from time to time if questioned by the ministry, and so 5 hours unless no break. Anything that is over 5 hours, you should be taking a break. If you have any questions on that one, let me know.
A couple people are typing in the chat, so I just wanted to see.
Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong chat.
Oh, that's okay. If we end up staying later, can we log in to a break for 30 minutes before logging out?
No. So just leave a note when you're done at the end of your shift that the reason that you were unable to take a break. So whatever it was that you were doing, that it should be pertaining to patient care. Then just write a note. The other thing that's been happening is that there were some situations where we were not taking breaks and then leaving early. And I just want to let you guys know how hard Sarah works at the spread of coverage. And so that if we are, when we're scheduling, we're always looking at the number of people that we have available to answer the phone. And our lovely team leads brought to our attention that there was some trouble on the weekends where everyone was starting at the same time on an extended shift, and therefore everyone needed a break around the same time. So Sarah's made some corrections to the schedule to hopefully stop that from happening. And so the intention and the law states if you work 5 hours, you need to take the break. And so it's not that you work 7 hours and at 6.5 you're going to take a break for the last 30 minutes. That's not the intention of the rules within the ministry. And so we do have to try and follow those rules. From time to time that's going to happen, but you need to, again, type a note to Nancy so that she can keep track and we can make changes if necessary. What are the rules for an extended break on 9+ hours? And so it's two 30-minute breaks on a 10-hour shift. Every 5 hours, it's a 30-minute break. And so if you're working 10 hours, then you need to take two 30-minute breaks. I'm going to leave that to Sarah. In some cases, maybe an hour is appropriate, but I will leave those individual conversations to happen directly with Sarah in regards to coverage for the schedule. So I don't want to say that and then make a mess.
Yeah, being without somebody for an hour could be kind of hard. I know that we did have a full time RVT. This is quite a bit ago. Who did work 10-hour shifts, and she took two 30-minute breaks just to split things up. And I think our leads do 30-minute breaks too. They can obviously correct me. Two 30-minute breaks. They can correct me if I'm wrong, but that does make sense for sure. So just to clarify, Amy, I think Corinne just wants to double check. So a 9-hour shift, she just takes a 30, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. If it's a 10, you would need to take two 30-minute breaks, Corinne. If it's 9, then you just one 30-minute break would be fine. And this next slide's you too, Amy. People are still
Yes.
talking, but we can answer questions as we go.
Okay. Sounds great. DVM staffing updates. There's been some questions, not directed to me, but that I've heard through the grapevine in regarding to DVM staffing and concerns for the summer. Just breathe. Everything's going to be all right, everyone. I just wanted to let you know the things that Kristen and I do to ensure that we're well staffed. And so as we come into the busy season, out of the slow season, we are interacting with the veterinarians who may not have taken cases in a little while. We're checking in with them, seeing if they still want to be active with us. We are offering them retraining sessions. We're offering them I'm not sure if everyone knows, but our veterinarians do a mock consultation with myself or Mike. And so we do that run through. We offer them support at the monthly meetings, and we get them back into being active, and we start checking into everyone's availability at this time of year. So this has already started. And then we're always hiring. And so we're always doing training sessions. We do a minimum of 2 training sessions a month, adding to our network. And as you guys would have seen through the Slack message, we're excited that Dr. Becky is back. And I always have people kind of on the back burner who were working on getting into the schedule and the rotation. There are lots of requests from veterinarians to work with us on a regular basis. And so if you have any times where you're concerned that there are not enough DVMs responding, or there seem to be, I'll call them dead zones, then please don't hesitate just to send me a quick email and say, we went for 5 hours and no one from the network reached out and helped out. And I can certainly look at those times and make adjustments to the schedule for our staff veterinarians, or start to target for veterinarians who may be available to help out on the network during that time. When I'm interviewing veterinarians for the network, I'm learning about, what they do for their regular job, if they have a regular job, what kind of availability they have. And so I do have a lot of insight into kind of what all 145 of them are up to. So if you have any questions about staffing, don't hesitate to reach out, but I promise you that we are working ahead. Thanks, ladies.
All right, thanks, Amy. I just thought maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to do just kind of brief review of who does what. This is not in a full extensive list that would be like 4 slides, but just kind of things that come up generally. And some people just ask, well, who should I ask this? Who should I ask that? So I figured I would just kind of do a quick rundown. Um, it should be pretty apparent, but Sharon and Mike should be included in anything that needs immediate attention. Escalations from the client or escalations regarding clients or clinics, texted or called, they should definitely be involved. Potential escalations can be sent to the management group email. There's 6 or so of us. The nice thing about sending things there is whoever needs to handle what part of the concern, we can all kind of branch off, which is kind of nice. And then it keeps everybody in the loop. But things that need to be dealt with immediately should be sent to Sharon or Mike that are concerning. Timesheet questions, time off requests, vacation, hiring, payroll should all go to Nancy via email. That is the best way to get a hold of her. Um, Sling and Slack, sometimes she has some issues getting Slack messages. So, and I know Sharon has had that in the past too. So please just email Nancy. That is the quickest way and the most accurate way to get a hold of her. Um, this happens a lot on shift where so you guys will ask me to change over like an on-call event or something like that, and I have access to it, and I don't mind doing it at all. On the weekend, there is nobody, and that's fine. You guys can make notes. But when you do, if you could also give Amanda a heads up, the reason for that is she likes to follow up with these clinics and make sure they understand that they can change their own events. Maybe something's changed now. They don't want to be texted. Well, maybe there's a reason they don't want to be texted. Maybe they have a complaint about being texted or something like that. She just likes to be kept in the loop. So changes or concerns, including on call, just send her a quick email. Just a hey, heads up, this happened this weekend, and she'll do a follow up. My list is very long, so I didn't include all of it. But one thing that I know sometimes doesn't always get to me, updates to hospitals. Um, if they'll fill medications, changes in hours, email addresses, I have access to the portal to do that. So if you're doing a prescription and you call 4 hospitals and they all say no, email me, give me the names, and I will change them. So then the next time you're in that area or somebody else is, that will save them some time. So feel free to send those to me. Email is best too. Any non urgent scheduling questions should be sent to Lindsay and myself to the schedules email. If they're urgent, messaging in Sling is best, either tagging us in the main chat or sending a message to both of us. The reason I say both of us is Lindsay obviously works in the day and I work in the evening, but if one of us is off, this way we both know, and then we can reply to somebody can reply and then we both know it's been taken care of, if that makes sense. If you send it just to one of us, then we have to remember to tell the other one that we've taken care of it, if that makes sense. Okay. Just because we have a lot in our brains sometimes, and we just want to make sure that we're obviously dotting our T's and crossing our I's. Yes, Holly, you should still be letting Sharon and Mike know on the weekend if you have to call out and nobody can cover. Um, Mike, I don't know if you want to pop in and speak to that, but I think that's still the protocol. If that's changed, please let me know.
No, that's right. You can call us is preferred. If for some reason whatever is preventing you from being there is making it so you can't call us, then send us a text. That's no problem. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, my screen is apparently locked, so I can't change the backspaces. So, but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm just going to pass things over to Amanda now. I'm just passing this off to everybody. That's just what this meeting is. It's just passing a baton around. So, Amanda, you're up.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everybody. We've added this slide in here because I feel it would be beneficial to review the 3 different service tiers that we have for our virtual vet service. There are some differences, so I think it would be good to kind of understand the differences between each one. It might even benefit you when you are speaking with our hospitals. So as I said, we have three different tiers. This is just a kind of a quick, brief overview of the main differences. Our standard tier is the hospitals that aren't actually paying for our service, but they have an agreement with us. So all hospitals that refer to our service should have an agreement. The CVO likes it that way. So um, the standard level is the most common one, and that's where you'll see them calling through on the general line. So there's no fee for this service. They don't offer really any specifics. There's no customization, well, not much anyway. Um, so they have access to the general line. That's where they refer their clients to. Generally, these hospitals are ones that have a local ER or don't have on call after hours. They don't have as many um, things in the port or in their hospital portal as the premium hospitals would. So basically, in their portal, they have access to calls and consult logs. They can update if they're accepting non patients, if they're filling prescriptions, and if they can do tech appointments. There is no access to the notice board for them. That comes with the paid tier with more customization. We have had some situations where people have reached out and they've let me know that, oh, this hospital didn't update their notice board. A lot of those times, those hospitals don't actually have access to the notice board. They need to be paying for a service to do that. You might see, so I've added pictures here with the standard. You might see that there is still information in notice boards of the ones that aren't listed as premium, that blue with the star. That's because we've added things in there. So hospitals are welcome to reach out to myself, um, and then I can add stuff in there if we feel it's necessary, but they can't do it themselves. They need to contact me. Next tier is our premium. So this is without on call. There is a fee. What they get with this is the custom phone number. So that's when you see the names of hospitals coming through. With that, they get a local area code and they get a customized greeting. So it would say the customized greeting would be something along the lines of you're being directed to so and so vet clinic's external medical support line. And they also get more personalization of their clinic portal. So they do have access to updating that notice board. So they have the ability to leave custom notes and instructions. And those ones also receive a transfer discount. So if their client pays for a consultation with us and we transfer post consultation, they do get that $20 discount. And then the next tier is premium with on call. So there is an additional fee for on-call coordination. So they basically get everything that's included above. So that custom phone number, personalization of their clinic portal, and they get on-call coordination. So that's when you're going to see that on-call enabled button and be able to see the on-call information. Um, and just trying to think if there's anything else there. There are times where you might see a notice board for a clinic that is not a SmartVet partner. So you'll see that it's listed as not partnered with SmartVet. Sometimes we do add notice boards for those hospitals because we do feel that it is important information. In the near future, you'll probably be seeing Dryden having more notice boards as we do reach out to them quite frequently. So we do have hospitals that we speak with that haven't actually signed an agreement and don't refer to us often, but we send transfers to them. So you might still see those situations where there is a notice board, but it says they're not a SmartVet partner. So that's the gist of it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer those. And if you think of anything with the difference between the tiers or any questions, you can email me as well anytime. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. I think the main point here is just that not all clinics have access to the notice board and updating that. And I don't think that's something we ever actually shared with our team. So no fault there, but it's just good to know that anybody that's not labeled as premium, they cannot update their notice board. So if there is any important information, that really should be going into that main notice board, and our team should be checking that when they start the shift or whenever that triangle lights up red. And if you have anything else, Sarah, to add, I can hear you shuffling back there.
I'm shuffling. I was taking a drink of water. No, I think you got it all. The thing that I wanted to point out was the last thing you said about them not being a smart vet partner and talk about Dryden. Dryden's a perfect example. So
Yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
be adding notice board for them. There's a few other ones where we just feel it's important, like there's important information we should get across, but they're not actually working with us. And again, those are the ones we generally are referring to, but they're not often referring to us.
Do you want to talk about Sault Ste.
So,
Mary's?
yeah, I can speak with this.
Good.
It's exciting. I'm happy about it. So we're slowly transitioning over all of the Sault Ste. Marie clinics. To my knowledge, there might be one or two that are a bit more hesitant or might be joining later on. But I think there are 7 in the group, so 5 of them are joining. We've already onboarded 3 more, and we're speaking with 2 more this week. So you'll just have to follow the instructions in the on-call information. We'll be adding that in there, and slowly removing those Quattro events. You'll still see Quattro in there a little bit for the clinics who haven't completely transitioned over. But very excited about this. This should make things a lot more easy for us and more clear, especially with the non-patients. Is that the vet triage? I know we have a few vet triage clinics
I wonder if it's
in Rivers in BC. That's where we added a notice board for them. So their clients, I think what happens is their clients hear that they have to go online and book through vet triage, so then they start calling around and then they get to us. And the problem there is if we book a virtual consult and then our vet needs to transfer, then they're having to go back through vet triage, which is something that we can't really prevent, and that's why we've added a bit of a notice board to kind of indicate to the team that that's how the process would be if we did go ahead with a virtual consult. So we really should be, if we're aware, we really should be referring them back to their regular vet, if that is Rivers. Sometimes we don't even know, so we can only work with the information we have. Yes, I ask that all the time, Shauna. It's like my especially since I work during the day when clinics are open, so it's always like, "Have you spoken with your vet first?" That's a very, very good question to ask, and then if they haven't, we can always see if they do have a notice board with, information on how to direct them appropriately.
Did you
I'll have to look
I was gonna say
into
you saw the Egan.
Egan Fife. There's a chance they just use both services, like, they choose to refer to us, but they use vet triage for, um their after hours, which sometimes can happen. Sometimes hospitals can use 2 different services. I don't speak to them much. They don't contact us much, so I'll have to look into their kind of information, what we agreed upon when we first brought them on.
So just kind of along those lines, guys, if you come up with something or something like this comes up on a shift, just email it to Amanda right away. So Karen's got the name. I know Holly, you're not sure of the clinic, but like literally in the moment, just start an email to Amanda and just send it off. That's the
Mm.
easiest because she knows. I mean, I can answer some things on shift, obviously, but there's going to be a lot more nuances that I'm not aware of that should go to her anyway, just so she can follow up, if that makes sense.
But I can make a note to look into Egan Fife, and I can just send a message in the RBT Slack channel if I once I have more information, just so our whole team. If we you think that's appropriate, Sarah? Just so everybody knows, I'll just have to look into it. I don't have a straight answer right now to how they are choosing to use our service.
Catherine just replied in the thread that she doesn't think they've updated their website in a while. Fife left and is at a new practice.
Good to know.
So Melissa, a few of those are in the portal already, in those areas. So that's why the map has Michigan, and I think that's the only area for right now. Minnesota, I've asked Mike to add just for not Traverse, Grand Marais. So it is on the list for him to add at some point, but we do have Michigan in the portal. Okay. I just wanted to remind everybody the kind of main point of the May call back. It should be used for kind of these following situations. The client's not with the pet to do the consult or fully triage, and they need to call back to finish the process. Of course, we could always, like if it's something simple like an ear infection, we could always book it and schedule it for when they're home. But if you're trying to fully triage this animal and they aren't with the animal, it is kind of hard to obviously figure out how the animal looks at that time. If the client needs to arrange funds for a transfer or telemedicine consult, that's another reason you'd want to put it in the make call back. The client truly wants to monitor for a little bit and call back if things continue or worsen, or the client's going to be calling PPH and then may call back with assistance for medical care. If the client declines the consultation and says, no, I'm not going to do that, I don't have the funds to do that, and I'm unable to get the funds, please close the call as client declined consultation. There's a lot of calls on the May callback on the weekends that probably are, well, a good chunk of them are declined. We should just be declining those. Okay. We just want to make sure that we're closing our calls appropriately and then obviously using the May callback as we need to. The other aside I want to mention, I think I put it in the weekly email. When you take a call out of the May callback, please re-triage that animal, not the whole thing, but just confirm and just say, okay, so it looks like my colleague was speaking to you and Fluffy was having vomiting and diarrhea. Has he continued to vomit? We just want to confirm that the history that we got originally matches what's going on with the pet now. I don't expect you to do another, whole 45-minute history, of course, but just confirming the other RVT's notes would be helpful. A very quick update to toxicology cases. The article in the Resource Center has been updated, but the DVMs had their mandatory meeting a couple weeks ago now, and they have decided that RVTs no longer need to call pet poison on behalf of our DVMs. The reason for this is there's no VCPR yet. So, really is best practice for the DVM to call with the client or if the client calls on their own. However, the aside to that is if a client calls or books a consult saying they spoke with PPH, this is where an RVT or even an AECA could call pet poison, with the case number and get the case info and a copy of the report. That'll just help our vets out, right? Because if they're going to need a consult or, if we have to do a transfer, we should get that report first. Finally, for rat or mouse bait ingestions, please get the client to upload the photos of the packaging. So, like during your call in the triage. If not, have them give you the name as much as you can. Try to find the packaging online. There's been some clients have a hard time sometimes finding the ingredients on the package, that kind of thing. So, getting the actual photo of the packaging would be super helpful. Once you have that, you're going to speak to your shift DVM and they'll advise you if a transfer is needed, if we need to do telemedicine. And then, of course, all the protocols for any sort of toxicology would apply. High priority, make sure they got peroxide, you confirm all those things with the veterinarian. Any questions about that? Cool. So, a few of you have noticed the newer articles for prescriptions, trying to give you guys as many options as you can when you're trying to find scripts for both Ontario and BC. So we now have partnered with a compounding pharmacy, Create Compounding in Vancouver, for BC prescriptions for exotics. We've done 2 or 3, and they've gone really well. So hooray! Um, we can use Chiron as well. Just Vancouver. This one seems to be pretty quick. So we have a partnership with them. So they would be the first choice for BC. There are articles on, tips and tricks for finding prescriptions for exotics, prescriptions for pets in remote areas. And then finally, I have updated the prescriptions to human pharmacies in BC. The reason for this is I'm sure you guys kind of remember there's a personal health number that clients have, and they have to provide it to the pharmacy when they pick up prescriptions, even for their own pet. The reason for this is it's just the way it is in BC. However, our veterinarians have been instructed to put reference ID V9 in their scripts. The reason for this is it will signal to the pharmacist that it is a veterinarian prescribed medication, so it won't be added to the pet owner's medical history. So we're just trying to do that to kind of, prevent them from getting, I don't know, gabapentin randomly added to their medical history. Most pharmacists know that's what they're supposed to do, but our vets are putting that in their scripts to kind of help facilitate that. Okay. Taylor, we're not using them for Ontario yet. We're doing BC as a pilot project. We want to make sure that everything goes well, and then we'll see how things go. But we'll update you guys as things change. Okay.
I'm just popping on just because I live in BC, and I'll double check with the clinics that I work in, but we don't usually have issues with clients having to give their personal health number when we send scripts into the pharmacy. So I can double check that because I'm
Okay.
also pick up a spit from my pet from the pharmacy, and they're just like, "Oh, cute, it's for your dog," and they just have given it to me.
Have you been at that pharmacy before though?
Not for my dog, just for me.
That's probably why, because they already have your personal health number on file.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, it's totally. I mean, if you want to ask, that's totally fine. But as far as Chris is not here, she's on holiday, much deserved, of course. But she's not here to
Yeah.
comment further. But as far as she's been told by the pharmacy, this whatever the pharmacy people their group is in BC, as well as the BC regulatory body, this is something we
Oh,
have to do.
okay. It's yeah. Okay, weird.
Yep.
Because when I was writing scripts in clinic, we didn't have to add anything special.
Yeah. I'm not sure. All I know is
Interesting.
this is what I've been told. So be curious to
Yeah.
see if it changes at all. But yeah, maybe if you got any other feedback, just really let us know. Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
will I'll try to see what the difference is.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool.
Thanks.
All right, Amy, are you still around? Do the last slide.
I'm here. I'm going to pinch hit for Sharon tonight, guys. I'm going to do my best. Um, but we've had some situations where we've had some clients who are really stressed, but their pet is stable. And so we just wanted to have a conversation around how can we help these clients. And I want to open it up and have you guys put into the comments what types of things do you say to clients to help them when they're very stressed and we know from our experience that their pet is stable from what they're telling us. Just give you guys a few minutes to type some things in there. So Shauna says when she asks about the gums, they're pink. Okay, so pink gums tells me that your pet is oxygenating okay and that they're perfusing their organs. These are good things. That's great. That's a really good thing to say when you know it's good things. These are good things, or this information that you're telling me is a good thing. So that's really important. Excellent. Sabina's doing the same. So these are good things. And um, I think that having empathy statements with clients is really important as well. Things like I understand how stressful this situation is for you. I understand how concerned you are about Fluffy. I'm here to try to help. I'm here to direct Fluffy in the right direction. And then sometimes I think that clients will become very agitated when they just want to go in and see their regular veterinarian and they feel like we're a bit of a roadblock, and we've talked about this many times, and so I guess one question to ask everyone is how do you explain to clients that telemedicine isn't a dead end? And so what types of things would you say to clients about how having a telemedicine consult may help? And as you guys are typing those in, I'm going to go over some of the other comments. Um, Melissa, yes, telling clients we're just a phone call away and letting us know if the status of the pet changes. This is really important so that clients know that they can call us back if things change. Sometimes they're not sure at the other end of the phone when we say, it's going to be a 2-hour wait to see a veterinarian, and they think that that's the end all and the be all, so they're just waiting. But it's so important to let clients know that if anything changes or they're concerned, just give us a quick call back. Corinne, repeating concerns, validating them, Fluffy best, explaining basic physiology, and also mentioning that if new or worsening symptoms develop, we can have a call to reevaluate. Absolutely. I think validating the relationship between our clients and their pets is really important. I with the human animal bond, they do know their pets best, and so really taking that information to heart. Sam has worked in hospice, which is awesome. I understand how stressful and upsetting this is. I'm going to help. Fluffy seems stable right now, but
we are going to get help. Just be really reassuring to them, and getting help 100% is, and we're moving things along. That's great. Corinne, giving a list of worsening symptoms, so important, and we coach our veterinarians to do that as well at the end of the consultation. So we want them to let clients know what to be looking for to call back, and that's great to let our clients know in the initial while they're waiting to be seen. Melissa, following up with the same sentiment for marijuana ingestions, Holly says what the owner sees just sends them, a lot of them, over the deep end. And yes, agitated is a great word, absolutely. And so it's very concerning when they've had a marijuana ingestion, how they're responding, and when they're having that deep sleep, and they're twitching a little bit, clients can get very freaked out by that. And so that's important to just have those empathy statements. And in some cases, um where where it could be negotiable. So I think that marijuana is something that we may suspect, and but sometimes it's not marijuana, and it's okay to increase those in priority if necessary, or see if there's someone available to help. And I see many of you doing that on a regular basis, where you'll put out a shout out in the Slack channel that there's a client who's very worried, and can anyone pick the case up a little bit sooner, and that's awesome. And part of the reason we wanted to talk about this is as we're coming into the busier time of year, and we know that holiday weekends can provide wait times. So just having great things in our toolbox to be able to help to diffuse clients before situations escalate. Lisa's saying that, so since when these symptoms are kind of vague, let's get you on camera with one of our vets so they can see what's going on, um, and figure out how best to proceed. That's great. So I know that you're feeling like this is serious. I'm saying that the symptoms you're telling me are not serious enough for a transfer, but let's get you on to see the doctor. Does anyone ever mention that? About it being a reduced rate consult if they need an immediate transfer. We've talked about it in the past, where you can mention to the client that, if indeed it is as serious as they feel it is, that the doctor may opt for that reduced rate consult. And so that's something else that you can put into your toolbox as well. My DVM can evaluate and determine if Fluffy is stable or not. Sabina, we're here 24/7, following up and making sure clients know how to reach us. And so if they get transferred through on call, they may be directly sent to us. So giving them our 188 number or email are always great. Melissa's having issues with ingestions where we know that it isn't emerge, but we put them into queue for 1 to 2 hours, and then they get angry because we're telling them at that point to wait, and so they feel like it's not important. And so again, Melissa, I think in those cases that when clients are really that worried, that we can go ahead and see if someone can take that consultation earlier. Rebecca, if the vet consulting with you feels that Fluffy needs in-clinic care, will help support with this and help get you the best care. We're here to help from start to finish, if clinical care is needed. That's great. And Corinne's using all the therapeutic communication techniques. Awesome. Shauna, um, I think that this is something that we can handle with telemedicine. If I felt that it was not in Buddy's best interest to get him evaluated this way, then I would not recommend taking this route. Also, I have said this, a quicker way to get Fluffy assessed. Oftentimes for casing presenting like Fluffy's, they have an extended wait in clinic, but we can see him in blank time. That's great. We've talked about that often, is that sometimes the wait time to be seen in clinic or getting in to see the on-call veterinarian could be 2, 3, or 4 hours, but we may have Fluffy seen within an hour. So I really love that one as well. And yes, booking is higher priority. You guys are coming up with great ideas. Um, and then Dana, yes, sometimes saying that our doctors are keeping an eye on the consults that coming in, and so that they see that, which is great. They all do. All of our shift veterinarians are really good about that. And Sam, about telemedicine not being a dead end. Um, if after the telemed, the vet feels physical care is needed, we'll help to get a transfer arranged, and literally telling them we're not going to leave them high and dry and get them sorted. Yes, this is really important, and I'm glad that you learned that and were able to communicate with that with clients. But it is important so that they know that once they've had the examination with the doctor, that things are going to go a couple of ways, right? Our doctor may make some recommendations to them for at-home care, and that could be a prescription or things to do at home to help their pet, or they may indeed recommend a transfer. But we know that, 75% of the time that we can help cases with telemedicine who come through our triage. And so, we want to let them know that it's, a high possibility we're going to be able to help them. Yeah, Shauna, letting clients know that we've let the veterinarians know about their case, and and putting that we've communicated that with them, so they just don't think that they've called, spoken to us, and now where are they? Communication is so key. What are we doing every step along the way? So, I've informed our veterinarians about Fluffy. Hopefully, someone will be able to help soon. Mentioning transfer discounts if they apply. Yes. Uh, so some of you do and some of you don't. I think if you're positive on the transfer discount, that it's not a wrong thing to say for premium clinics. There's just a little bit of chat back and forth about that. Reinforcing the time frame with ingestion broadly. Yes, that's great. For non-clients, doing the consultation first will give us more weight if we need to appeal to an on-call for a local clinic, or having clients touch base. Like, if they have that examination and it's a 6-hour drive to an emergency clinic, they're only going to go if it's justified. And I think that's really important as well. And so letting clients know that, this is a great starting point, and at least then we can confidently say whether you know we can start to help or not. Combine validating with reality, Catherine. This is something we need to look into for Fluffy, and the good news is nothing you've told me suggests that Fluffy isn't in a good spot to be able to wait for a consultation. And if any point you feel that things worsen, please let us know immediately and we can adjust things on our end as needed. I really, really love that. Validating with reality. In human healthcare, I learned, unfortunately, over time that when you're really, really sick, that they're going to rush you through and you're not going to wait in the ER for 7 to 10 hours. I mean, usually pre-COVID, things might have changed a little bit with COVID, but I think that having that conversation with clients, letting them know that great news, you have to wait for 20 minutes because Fluffy's so stable. And so the great news portion. Those are great. Wow, guys, I love it. That was fantastic. So I think the really important takeaways from that conversation are validating clients' concerns and feelings, communicating what we're doing and what to expect, and letting them know that telemedicine is not a dead end. And so once you have a telemedicine consultation, there are other things that we can do and ways to go, and they can follow up with us if things change at home. And then while they're waiting, that they can follow up with us as well. And as we come into the busy weekends of summer, that's where our shift leads are going to come in as well, with communication and triaging and making sure that that flow is going really well. Does anybody have anything that they want to add to that? Anyone from the management team want to jump in with anything?
I think you nailed it. But I'm going to grab some of these and put them in a document, share them with you, because I think there's some real value in some of the wording here. I may steal some of these myself. So, yeah.
This has been amazing. I agree. And I just wanted to add, I've had some conversations with some of you recently, and then some of our DVMs, and I've interviewed some DVMs who work for some of our on-call clinics recently, and everyone thinks very highly of you guys, and I agree. We are so lucky to have such a group of really experienced technicians with such a wide variety of experience. It's really a pleasure working with you guys. You guys have great ideas. Love it. Oh, it's me again. Wow, look, Sharon doesn't make it, and I talk the whole meeting.
Usually it's me talking the whole meeting, Sharon. So, your turn.
Uh, oh, this is the fun part, though. Ballots. We had 39 entries this month, and let me find my screen so that I can get to the right place here. Do you guys see that? The wheel?
Looks good.
Okay, awesome. I never know because I have to go off of it to shuffle it up so it doesn't change immediately. So we had 39 entries this month. Thank you everyone for all of your extra hard work and assistance over the month. I'm going to shuffle them up and then spin the wheel. Our winner this month is Lisa. Lisa, I will reach out to you in regards to your prize.
Amy, we couldn't help but make fun of your tabs on your browser.
Thank you.
Who is making fun of my tabs?
We all are. Congrats, Lisa. Well deserved.
I said they're your emotional support tabs.
That's my to-do list, guys. I'm not even gonna lie.
Short selfless plug. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually flying back from Arizona to Ontario this weekend and taking a week off. So I will be off as of 9 p.m. Eastern tonight until the 14th. So please reach out to management with any concerns. Obviously, Lindsay will be in charge of the schedule while I'm gone. And I will not be replying to anything to actually have some work life balance and spend time with Ryan in Ontario. So, yeah, just wanted to I wanted to include a pug, so because the whole thing was capybaras, so there's my pug contribution. Mike, did you kind of been radio silent? We kind of took this over from you. Did you have anything you wanted to add while you're still here?
No, this is great. This is great. I've been able to just kind of sit back and listen to all the great conversation. That was amazing from the team, all the feedback that you guys are providing. So I think we definitely need more of that. I mean, it's really nice for everybody to be able to share that. Like it's infrequent that we all get in one room and you guys get to like throw what works for each other to each other, which I think that's hugely valuable, and we should do more of it. So it was good. And enjoy your time off, Sarah. I think you deserve it.
Oh,
So
thanks. I promise I'll come back.
good, good. We need you. We need you. No, so if there's any questions, I think we can probably leave it there and maybe give everybody back some time in the hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
T2200s. Who's got a response on that?
Amy, Shauna's asking.
If you're missing, you send me a quick email now, and I will make sure that it gets to you. They're done. So if you are missing it, let me know. You just got missed on my list. If you send me a quick email, I'll reply with it in the email to you.
Cool. Taylor asked, when are review meetings happening? One of you guys want to take that one?
Not me. Not it.
He just jumped out of there. Nancy, are you able to answer that one?
Discussing their review comments. Hopefully you heard that. But they're in the works. There's some behind the scenes stuff that has to happen prior to that. So I have a long list of you, and I'll be working through and reaching out to you guys in the next couple of weeks. If anybody wants to volunteer to have theirs done sooner, let me know. And because I need to have feedback from Kristen on some of this as well. So it's just a issue of getting everything coordinated. That's all.
Thanks, Nancy. Nobody's stressed. You guys are all doing great. Good. Any other questions?
If you're volunteering, send me an email.
I'll get you guys the recording too before I go. You guys will have the recording and the slides, so I'll make sure you guys have that. And I'll try. I probably can put it together tonight. The feedback stuff in the chat because I think that was really cool. So I'll just kind of put it in a Google document, share it with all of you, so you'll have it. And yeah, great work on that, guys. That was awesome. But yeah,
Awesome.
I think
Well, great job, team.
yeah,
Thanks, everybody. Have
Yep.
a great rest of your night.
yeah. Talk to you guys later. Don't forget to clock out.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Congrats, Lisa.